The Daily Wire's Matt Walsh has written a book called Johnny the Walrus, which humorously captures the cartoonish nature of this entire transgender debate. And right now it's ranked, I guess, number 10 now on the Amazon bestsellers list, number 4 in children's books. Here now is Matt Walsh, host of The Matt Walsh Show. Matt, now first we have to note that Walrus Awareness Week is happening now, apparently. So the book's meteoric rise is really well timed. Why is this being gobbled up?
Yeah, we didn't even try to coincide it with Walrus Awareness Week. So I think just everything, it was fated to be in a lot of ways. I think people are buying the book because we need a little bit of sanity in our culture, and especially in children's books. I mean, any parent, I'm a parent myself, and we know that you go to the children's section at Barnes & Noble, you look at all the titles, it's like being at an Antifa rally or something with all just the left-wing propaganda, and to have something that's a response to that, I think is resonating with people. And by the way, I should mention that Amazon, they did this on their own. They listed it as an LGBT book, and right now, currently, for the last few days, I've had the top-selling, not just one of the top-selling books on Amazon, but one of the top-selling, or the top-selling LGBT book. So I am an LGBT author, and I'm, I think one of the leading LGBT voices in the country right now, according to Amazon, and I embrace that.
What is an LGBT book? Was that an author who's LGBT, or is it a book that touches on LGBT or is it a combo, or like why?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, my book's about a walrus, so who knows how they decide these things?
Well, now, the children's book publishing industry, again, most parents, they don't give a lot of thought to it. But from the books that are assigned, and I can say this from junior high to high school, elementary school, what kids have available in their school curricula and at reading hour at your public library, so much of it is just, it's never going to withstand the test of time, and that's putting it charitably.
Yeah, and a lot of it, when we look at the indoctrination, there's a lot of the racial indoctrination, anti-racist baby, critical race theory, that kind of thing. But so much of it is gender ideology being foisted on kids at very young ages. And, if gender ideology is so absurd that they realize that if they want to convince people of it, they have to get to them when they're very, very young, and they're not able to distinguish between fantasy and reality and make these kinds of common sense judgments. And that's why it's so important for them to brainwash the kids early. And it's why it's important for us to protect our kids from that brainwashing.
Now, here to your point, as one teacher described his disturbing classroom habit. Watch.
I teach high school, and most days of the week I come to school in stilettos. And the reason why is so I can create an explicitly queer space for all of my students. That way they know that this place is a place for them, by them.
What is this teacher talking about? Like, what?
Well, this is a narcissist who thinks that kids go to school to learn about him. I mean, when I went to school, I didn't know anything about my teachers at all, much less their sex life or anything like that. But that's what teachers do now. They think that this is about the kids are there to learn about me, not so much about any subject. And that's yet another reason I think why parents should consider other options, like maybe teaching your kids yourself through homeschool.
I think more parents are doing that precisely because of these developments. Matt, congrats on the book, and thanks for coming on.